Hello and welcome to another video from oorail. So this video is the start of something new here at the channel. We're going to be doing a new type of filament for 3D printing once a month. And so we're going to spend the first maybe 2 weeks of the month just experimenting with it ourselves, seeing what we could come up with it. And then on maybe the second or third Monday in the month like today, we're going to go and show you what we've come up with, the filament that we're using for this month, and see what ideas you guys come up with for stuff that's mall railway related. So this month we're using something from Hatchbox called Wood PLA. It comes in a 1.75mm spool. It's basically a hybrid plastic wood material. It's basically PLA, I think it's like about 60-70% plastic PLA, which is a bio plastic, and then it's got kind of embedded microscopic wood fibers in it, and I think maybe sawdust, that sort of stuff. And so it's small enough that it'll fit through the 0.4mm nozzle without really causing you too much hassle, and you get some really good results with it. The end result of the print is actually something that feels like wood, smells like wood when it's printing, and you can finish it like wood, so I can sand it, I can varnish it, and there's enough wood particles in it that it will kind of act like wood, which is kind of cool. So you can see here we've got this kind of line side hut that we printed out. It was printed in two parts, so the roof is one part and then the rest of it's another single part. It's pretty solid, and it looks, feels, and smells like wood. So that's one of the things that we've come up with. We've also come up with some really obvious stuff. So we tried to 3D print some spools here, and those worked out pretty well. Printed out a small table, printed out some crates, and then the lid for the crates. We also printed out this really small, so I drop it, this really small desk. So you can see here, it's got the imprintation on the side, and then it's also got drawers in it. This extra bit here is just stringing from the 3D printer and can be removed with a knife or whatever. So these come in two parts, basically like that. And then you've got the top of the desk, and it will, I haven't actually cleaned any of these prints up. These is exactly as it came off the printer. So you got your sort of table or desk like that. Also did some fence panels. So I was like, knock over the tree there, which we'll look at next. So basically I tried to 3D print the tree. It's produced a lot of support material. It's a very interesting kind of exercise to try to build this in Blender, but it did print pretty well and does look like a tree, and I guess you could add some greenery to it like you would normally with a regular tree that you're modeling, so it might work out, we'll see. I did a ladder as well. This is a train register that you'd see in the signal box, kind of goes like this. Also, this is from a cupboard, but could also be used as the inside sorting in a post office, or kind of Pigeon Holes, or something in a railway scene as well, where they need pigeonholes and that kind of thing. So that's basically what I came up with. I also printed out a coaling stage and a few other things, but this is kind of bulk of it. So if you guys got any suggestions on wood items that we could 3D print, stick it in the comments below. If you've got links to pictures on Flickr, that would be fantastic. But basically what we're going to do is, depending on what you guys comment on, we'll spend a couple of days throughout the month trying to 3D print those for you. Anything that's suggested to us, we'll probably just throw up on Thingiverse as a free download, and we'll show you the results on the printer here as well. What I'm going to do next is give you guys a quick rundown on what we had to do to get this particular type of filament to print properly. So in terms of things we had to do to make the Wood PLA work a little bit better, This is a JG Aurora A1. This is basically the filament feeder. Now this has a bit of a problem. It's not the best filament feeder design. Basically, what can happen is this is supposed to exert pressure down and then clamp this to this so that it can grip on it. Well, if this pressure isn't strong enough, or the force isn't strong enough, these teeth kind of just grind away at the filament rather than passing it through. So we did have some problems with that. You can still sort of see the bits of filament that were kind of ground away there. So we ended up removing this one screw that's at the top here and replacing it with a longer one so it puts more of a downward force on it, and then heating the PLA in the nozzle at a slightly higher temperature. I think we're running around 215 to 217. Normally we print around 210, and so doing that seemed to improve the flow, and just making sure that we did a raft or a brim or a skirt that was a little bit longer than we normally do, just to make sure that the filament is flowing before it tries to print. That seemed to resolve almost all of our print problems with the Wood PLA. We did have a few clogging issues on longer prints. That seemed to go away when we did this with the extruder filament feeder, and then it also happened when we increased the temperature. So I think increasing the temperature and making sure that the filament is not under extruding because it's not feeding correctly does seem to be the kind of magic combination for printing with Wood PLA. So we're quite happy with it. Now Hatchbox, we are printing with this kind of middle of the range Wood PLA. You can see there it's the same color as the one that's in the printer. We did find that Hatchbox do have a couple of other color variants of the Wood PLA, but they're not available in stock anywhere. So if you want to print like a darker wood color, that is out there, but just simply wasn't in stock. Now I haven't tried any other brands. The Hatchbox Wood PLA seems to work really well. Okay, so that's it for today's video. So like we said, this month it's wood filament from Hatchbox. It's a hybrid material. It's pretty cool stuff. So let us know what you think, and let us know what you'd like to see us try to 3D print, and we'll show you the results at the end of the month, and then we'll move on to another filament. Alright, well, hope you guys enjoy it, and until next time.